Joshua 1 verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. This verse, spoken to Joshua as he prepared to lead the Israelites into the promised land, serves as a timeless reminder of God's presence. Courage is not the absence of fear but the decision to move forward despite it, trusting in God's unwavering support. Deuteronomy 31 verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Repeated in the context of Israel's transition, this verse emphasizes God's faithfulness. Whether facing external enemies or internal doubts, believers are assured of divine companionship, fostering boldness in life's challenges. Psalm 46 verses 1 to 3. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. This psalm paints a vivid picture of chaos, earthquakes, floods, and collapsing mountains, yet anchors the believer in God's stability. It encourages resilience, knowing that God is a safe haven even when the world seems to crumble. Additional verse, Isaiah 41 verse 10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah's words reinforce God's promise to provide strength and support. This verse invites believers to lean on divine power, especially in moments of weakness or uncertainty. Reflection. Courage rooted in faith transforms fear into opportunity. These verses collectively urge believers to face trials with confidence, knowing that God's presence is constant. Whether confronting personal struggles or societal upheavals, the assurance of divine support empowers steadfastness. Love and devotion. Romans 12 verses 9 to 12. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor, serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Paul's instructions to the Romans outline a blueprint for Christian living. Sincere love rejects hypocrisy, actively opposes evil, and prioritizes others' well-being. Zeal and prayer sustain spiritual vitality, even in adversity. Additional verse, 1 Corinthians 13 verses 4 to 7. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. This iconic passage defines love's attributes, offering a standard for relationships. It challenges believers to embody patience, kindness, and perseverance, reflecting God's love in human interactions. Additional verse, John 13 verses 34 to 35. A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. Jesus' command emphasizes love as the hallmark of discipleship. Sacrificial love, modeled after Christ's example, distinguishes believers in a world often marked by division. Reflection. Love, as described in these verses, is active and selfless. It requires effort to reject evil, honor others, and maintain fervor. By cultivating sincere love, believers not only strengthen their communities but also bear witness to God's transformative power. Perseverance and faith. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 10. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Paul's paradoxical statement reveals the strength found in vulnerability. By relying on Christ's grace, believers find resilience in trials, transforming weakness into a testimony of divine power. Ecclesiastes 9 verse 10. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might, for in the realm of the dead, where you are going, there is neither working nor planning nor knowledge nor wisdom. This verse underscores the urgency of purposeful living. Life's brevity motivates diligence in work and service, as opportunities cease in death. 2 Corinthians 4 verses 16 to 18. Therefore we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Paul contrasts temporal struggles with eternal rewards, encouraging believers to focus on spiritual renewal. This perspective fosters endurance, as troubles are seen as fleeting compared to God's everlasting glory. James 1 verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. This verse promises a reward for steadfastness. Trials test faith, but perseverance yields divine approval and eternal life, motivating believers to remain faithful. Additional verse, Hebrews 12 verses 1 to 2. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of faith. This imagery of a race encourages endurance. By focusing on Jesus, believers find strength to overcome obstacles and complete their spiritual journey. Reflection: perseverance is fueled by faith in God's promises. These verses highlight the transformative power of trials, which refine character and deepen reliance on Christ. By embracing weakness and maintaining diligence, believers grow stronger in faith, guidance and peace. Psalm 23 verses 1 to 6. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. This beloved psalm portrays God as a shepherd who provides, guides, and protects. It offers comfort in life's darkest moments, assuring believers of God's abundant blessings and eternal presence. Additional verse, John 16 verse 33. I have told you these things, so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world. Jesus acknowledges life's difficulties but promises peace through his victory. This assurance calms fears and strengthens trust in God's sovereignty. Reflection: God's guidance brings peace amidst turmoil. Psalm 23 and John 16 verse 33 emphasize divine provision and triumph, encouraging believers to rest in God's care and find serenity in his promises. Wisdom and trust. Romans 12 verse 2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Transformation through renewed thinking enables discernment of God's will. This verse challenges believers to resist worldly pressures and align with divine purposes. Luke 12 verses 25 to 26. Who of you by worrying can add a single hour to your life? Since you cannot do this very little thing, why do you worry about the rest? Jesus highlights the futility of worry, urging trust in God's provision. This practical wisdom frees believers from anxiety, fostering reliance on divine care. Additional verse, Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. This proverb encourages wholehearted trust in God, promising guidance for those who submit to his will. It reinforces the importance of faith over human reasoning. Reflection: wisdom arises from trusting God's plan over human logic. These verses advocate a renewed mindset, free from worry and aligned with divine guidance, leading to a purposeful life. Diligence. Proverbs 12 verse 24. Diligent hands will rule, while the lazy will be put to forced labor. This proverb contrasts the outcomes of diligence and sloth, highlighting the rewards of hard work. It encourages believers to steward their talents responsibly. Additional verse, Colossians 3 verses 23 to 24. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. This verse elevates work to an act of worship. By serving God through diligence, believers find purpose and anticipate eternal rewards. Reflection: diligence reflects stewardship of God-given opportunities. These verses motivate believers to work wholeheartedly, knowing their efforts honor God and yield lasting benefits. Conclusion. This collection of verses, woven with reflections, offers a tapestry of encouragement for life's journey. From courage in trials to love in relationships, perseverance in faith, peace in guidance, wisdom in trust, and diligence in work, these scriptures anchor believers in God's promises. They remind us that, though challenges abound, God's presence, strength, and love are ever present, guiding us toward an eternal hope.